IVM.
Hey, if you enjoy listening to IVM Likes, you should check out the show called Cyrus Says. It's a show hosted by the funny man Cyrus Brocha, where he chats with people that come from various walks of life. He talks about politics, traffic, food, mostly food. And new episodes out every Monday and Thursdays on IVM Podcast website, IVM Podcast app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
ए, चालू कर रहे कि नहीं?
Hi guys, welcome to the 100th episode of IVM Likes.
Woohoo!
Wow!
Yay!
Yoo-hoo!
Confetti.
Round of applause.
Fireworks.
Yay.
Whistles.
And that's Shaman.
Champagne popping.
None of this
I
is
don't know what
happening.
that
We're
was.
literally just sitting in the studio, same old. But we're happy. Oh my god, this is the 100th episode.
Yes.
Yeah, also, quick update. We're now going to be releasing IVM Likes on Wednesdays instead of Mondays. Because we just thought Wednesday is a good day to, think about
Soak in
pop
pop culture.
Yeah.
Monday is like too stressful. Weekend
is.
is like you have too many plans. So Wednesday is like this
Just
is
the right time.
just the
Yeah.
right time,
And
yeah.
like midweek you can decide, oh, these are the things I want to binge on.
Yeah.
And add them to your list.
Yeah.
Sure. Janam, what do we have first?
First, we have a bunch of emails from all our listeners.
Fans is the
Fan
word.
mail.
Yes.
Admirers.
I think I'm going to sing it. IVM fan mail.
That wasn't singing. That
Okay,
was just a seductive voice.
That's what our fans want, John.
Okay then. So,
What do we have next?
we have an email from Satvi Tripathi.
Janam's seduction is the same as the
Is a
normal voice.
No, I can't do a seduction voice because anyway,
Who is this again? Sorry.
it's Satvi Tripathi.
Okay.
Satvi is a guy or a girl?
We
It
don't
sounds like
get
a
into
guy.
that. We don't
Satvi's
get
a
into
girl.
But
that.
if you're,
Okay.
Whoever.
it's an admirer.
Satvi.
For
Okay,
us,
Satvi
all
is
of
a
them
person
same.
who has written to us saying, thanks for not making my Monday as shitty as I expected to be.
Too bad. Now it's on Wednesday.
But hey, you can listen to the older episode on Monday.
Or you can wait out till Monday for the Wednesday episode and then listen to it.
Yeah.
But I'll be a
Yeah.
little late. This is not on Wednesday only. Wednesday is the new Monday, guys.
Yeah.
So, Satvi says, thanks for not making my Monday as shitty as I expected to be while also giving recommendations for the week. It's almost like IVM cast is controlling my life since episode 80 to 85. I know I joined the party a little bit late, but I'm doing my part to make up for it. Binge listening to all the backlogged stuff. Wow.
That's really nice. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And we're glad we'll keep making you happy and your
Yeah.
Mondays and Wednesdays better.
Yeah, so you know what you can do, Satvi? On Mondays, you can binge listen to all the previous episodes. And on Wednesdays, you can check out the new episode.
yeah.
Okay, next up is...
Fun fact, from episode 80 to 85, I was on like 5 of those 6 episodes.
Yeah,
guys.
because that's when I started producing it. I was like, Abbas needs to go. But okay, another email is by Paras. Oh, thanks, Paras. Oh, Paras wrote a long email.
Yeah.
So he says, congratulations on the 100th episode. Hope you guys never run out of recommendations.
Oh, we work hard.
Oh, Abbas is just listing the number of movies he's watched this year.
Yeah.
Abbas, do you want to drop the number?
Yeah, I've seen 149 movies and I'm in the midst of 150th one.
Oh my god, Abbas, just get a job.
But I feel like it's only 150. I know someone who's seen 250 movies this year.
I'm not even half that number.
I feel like I don't want to come close to that number ever. Tell me, that's so much. How do you have the time?
I have no social life.
That makes sense. Okay, so Paris says, I haven't listened to many podcasts before I discovered IVM, and my life was never the same after that.
Wow.
Cyrus says, Geek Fruit, IVM Likes, and Watcher became my favorite instantly. Now, IVM Likes is the first podcast I binged listened to, and I would like to thank you all for the recommendations. I love you all. And
the laughs.
And the laughs.
Insert
Josh.
fake laughter track. But
He
why?
says-
Why do you think? I mean, this is quite a revelation that people like to binge listen to us.
Yeah.
Like I never considered.
I think that's because we sound like friends.
Maybe, yeah.
know,
People are
like
like, oh, I'd
just-
like to listen more.
That's
this
because we
person."
are.
Yeah,
Not
also
just-
because we don't have like strong opinions on like, oh, this, maybe I do.
So
Maybe
do
I
I. We fought about opinions.
We fought about
Yeah.
opinions. But it's like I don't know, we just talk about
Yeah,
things. It's not
they,
like,
they feel like we're part of them.
yeah. But the thing with Abbas is Abbas leaks out a lot of spoilers. So
Hey, I've been watching myself since I got
the
feedback.
last 2 episodes. But okay, this guy Paris says, "I love you all, especially Sharanya as a favorite." Hey Sharanya, what's up? Hope you guys get her for the 100th episode. Oh, she isn't here, but we'll get her for the.
She's here in
Yeah.
spirit.
I loved how Josh used to recommend regional stuff and became kind of a hot stuff brand ambassador.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Josh. Then there is this guy Abbas with his geek knowledge and insights like a video essayist.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's the best.
May Thomas is one of my favorite people. I never used to get what Alika and Amit recommend. It is above me. They're very cool. Also, same. We don't get. We just nod.
We're like, oh yeah, cool.
And Amit recommends 24 book series
Yeah.
at once.
I'm like, Amit, that's a very ambitious recommendation. Nobody's going to read it. Nobody. Immediately after he recommends a book, I'm like, is there a movie? Can I watch the movie? It's like, there's no
Yeah.
movie. Okay, Paris says, now coming to the new recruits, Janam Devan is very cool and weird. I like
She's
all
not
of her
new
recommendations.
anymore. Yeah, sure.
I've been following Surbhi Baga since she was on TV and even DM'd her to come to one of the IVM shows as a guest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a few days later, she was hosting my
And
favorite
she didn't
show.
leave. Once she came, she refuses to leave.
But I was never a guest. So he says, he DM'd me. I'm sorry, Paris, I might have missed that DM. But he asked me to be on one of these
Podcast,
episodes.
yeah.
And then I was hosting a show here.
He was like, they took me really
Yeah.
seriously. They gave her a show to host.
He says, I like her personality and her cringe humor. Thank you. That's me.
That's not humor, Paras, right? That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
cringe.
Shut up. Naveen Narona is one of the funniest guy. Hey, Naveen.
True.
And I think he will do big things in the future.
No
Yeah.
pun intended.
Yeah, he's not talking about the boyfriends.
Sorry if I left anyone and all. It's also my bad English. That was my English. I appreciate your work and you're awesome. Bye. Thanks, Paras. Thank
You're
you so
awesome
much.
Yeah,
You're
thank you so
awesome.
much, Paras.
Thank you. This
We
is
shall
great.
binge listen to you one day.
Yeah, call us. 750. Avas next email is up for you. Or for grabs.
Alright, the next email is from Shivank Gupta. Shivank says, hey guys, Shivank here. It's been somewhat a year for me listening to IVM shows. I love the stuff you guys recommend. Abbas recommended Disgraced Land and Crime Town. Such intriguing podcasts. I know,
Stop.
right? Janam recommended the book Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***. The book helped, certainly helped, he says. And Surbhi recommended Rilo Kiley, and the songs that he says we recommend or you guys recommend are beautiful. Thank you for
thank
these
you.
cool recommendations. I also totally love the second half of the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We also received a bunch of cool voice notes from our listeners. So let's check those out.
Yep.
I'm going to play the first one.
Wow, I cannot believe IVM Likes is 100 episodes old. That is insane. I remember the first episode we recorded. It was Amit, me and I think I recommended Documentary Now, which honestly, I still stand by that recommendation. You should totally go watch Documentary Now. But over the course of 100 episodes, I think I've been on a lot, a huge amount. And it was always so fun, even though we usually came up with the topic extremely last minute, usually just while we were walking into the studio to record. It has always been so much fun. And I think if I had to pick off the top of my mind the two recommendations that have really stood out, I think one is Amit recommending Burn Notice. I think the amount of courage it requires to recommend something while we're making fun of his recommendations and his choices. I think that episode was a bit harsh in retrospect, but while we were recording it, that was really funny because who watches Burn Notice? And I also really love Josh's firm belief that the best Hindi movie is Om Shanti Om. Yes, that's the one. I think these two recommendations, and I think the fun I had on those episodes, it really sticks out in my brain. Although I have got so many good recommendations of this show, and I've got so many people sometimes tweeting to me and telling me that they saw something I recommended and they really enjoyed it. That has been super. All right, congratulations, you guys.
That was Sharanya.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
I remember those two episodes. They were really
Do
funny.
you remember what number were those episodes? Because people want to go
in
back.
the early ones, like before we even hit 50, I think. I think Burn Notice was 28, 29, I think, or something. And I think these are in the 20s, as far as I can.
What we're going to do is we're going to link those episodes in the description so you can go back and check those old
Yeah.
episodes out. Om Shanti Om.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, me and Naveen had this real debate where he's like, Om Shanti Om is the legit best Hindi film ever made.
I've heard this conversation happen off studio also. Like,
Really?
obviously that episode was recorded way before I joined, but
yeah.
when I was there and Josh was still around, I heard him say this.
Like, he's not even being cheeky about it. He genuinely believes that Om Shanti Om is the best Hindi film ever. And he'll fight you on it.
Also, he raves a lot about Bahubali.
Oh yeah. The last time he was in office, he was still talking about Bahubali, and it's
my God.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since Bahubali's out. Oh, another fan mail, guys. Fan voice mail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's listen in.
Let's listen in.
Hi, this is Pathikrit, and I'm a huge fan of IVM Likes. It's just great because usually I'm the guy in the group who tells other people, ki, hey, watch this, watch that video, look at this band and whatnot. And now I'm like, yay, there's a podcast that does this, and I'm not the only weirdo. And also, like, I've found out like a crazy shit ton of things that, like, great recommendations from you guys, and it's always good to find stuff like that, and it's enjoyable. But what resonated with me most, and there was like a moment of connect, I feel like I found kindred spirits here, is when in the last episode you were talking about pimple popping videos, and I'm like, yes, oh my god, those are the most satisfying in the world. And congratulations on your 100th episode, and I hope there are 100 more after this.
Yay, thank you, Pathikrit. And didn't I tell you pimple popping videos are great? You guys.
Yeah.
Do you want me to finally send you links now?
I
Can you
haven't
stop
had the gall to like watch those videos.
Jana has blocked me on WhatsApp since that day because she's scared I'm sending her links. But those are
But this
great.
is a thing, you know, even I've got Instagram messages where people are like, they listen to our recommendations and then they become the cool person in their friend circle where they are recommending cool
that
stuff.
happened?
Yeah.
Little do they know that we stay up all night. Dude, being cool is so hard.
I know, right?
It's just you've got to stay up all night and watch it. But thanks you again, Pathikrit. I'm going to play the next one now.
So I recently started listening to IVM Likes, and I think one of the best things about this podcast is the recommendations that they give right away in the starting, because आजकल इतना content है इंटरनेट पे, तो मैं ढूंढ ही रहा था ऐसे कोई लोग मिल जाएं जिनके पास बहुत फालतू टाइम हो, तो सब कुछ देख के बता दें क्या देखना चाहिए, और IVM Likes वालों के पास clearly है ये, which is amazing. In fact, one of the recent recommendations that really stuck with me was by Janam, who recommended Mute Math's Vitals, which really took me back to college, because मैं college में Mute Math बहुत सुनता था और उसके बाद मैं भूल ही गया था कि मुझे Mute Math पसंद है. And after all those years, when she recommended, I listened to the new album which I had missed out, and also then I listened to everything by Mute Math. So yeah. Thank you, Janam, for that.
Thanks, Abhishek. That was a celebrity voice note that we got. Abhishek Upmanyu, the very
God.
famous, one of the top stand-up comedians.
Dude, do you think
of the
IVM
country.
Likes is the reason why people are getting into podcast listening?
That might be possible.
Wow,
yes.
that's amazing.
Wow.
I feel,
We're
I
creating
feel
a
seriously
revolution
cool
here.
now.
Yeah, and man, I'm glad he enjoyed my recommendation. I just want to say I'm a fan of his also. So
Oh,
yeah.
Mutual Admiration
Yes.
Society. Oh my God.
Mute math.
Mutual.
We're
Mutual.
we banned at everything
Sounds
that's not
wrong.
pop culture. So like spares that. Let's listen to the next voice
Yeah,
note.
sure.
So the very conception of the show was a lot of fun to begin with. Like, I remember we used to brainstorm every time before we went to the studio, and we would ask each other what we are watching so as to avoid what the other is watching, and have our own original contributions. Over time, it became a passion project. Like, we would like actively seek out shows to watch so we could recommend something cool every week. And I would have a lot of fun with Josh and Sharanya, mainly because of our dynamic and the fact that we would not hold back from pulling each other's legs. The whole idea of IVM Likes was always to have like a very casual environment where people who work together and recommend each other stuff can do it on a podcast. So a lot of great memories. I wish I could be there for the 100th episode, but I can't, so it's okay. And good luck to the team that's carrying on the legacy of IVM Likes, and 200 more. Yeah.
Yay! That was Naveen. Thank you so much, Naveen. Naveen was one of the producer here.
Yeah.
He used to produce IVM Likes before Abbas.
No, after me.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
Nice. We've come a long way, and
I like how both Saranya and Naveen were like, we used to brainstorm till we came to the studio, and it's just the same even now.
Yeah, I also want to add that, the part where Naveen mentioned that we have to actively seek out content. And, that's actually true, because I just want to tell our listeners, there have been so many times where I have, either before we get into the studio, I've had a discussion with Abbas or Naveen saying that, hey, this is my recommendation. And they'll be like, oh no, Sharanya has already recommended this.
Oh my God, this still happens.
There was this one time where I came into the studio with my recommendation. I didn't tell anyone. I started talking about the recommendation, and Abbas goes like, oh, that movie, yeah, Sharanya has already spoken about it.
I accidentally recommended a podcast, Judge John Hodgman, because it wasn't in the list, and I got a DM on Instagram saying Sharanya has already recommended that. I think this should be a hashtag. Sharanya has already recommended that.
Been there, Sharanyard. Been there, done that.
Yeah. God,
Nice.
Sharanya has recommended so many things.
Yeah, I think she's definitely for TV shows.
Yeah, and I feel like even after IVM, she's still consuming so much content.
Oh, she loves it, dude.
Yeah, this one time I asked her for recommendations on Twitter recently, and she gave me, and I was like, wait, let me recommend this on the show.
Moving on to another voice now we got.
Hi guys, this is Akash, and I recently stumbled upon IVM Likes, and I'm absolutely addicted to it. I listened to all of the episodes that were released this year. One of my favorite episodes was the one with Nivedita. I'm a huge fan of Nivedita, and it was an all-girls episode, and it was a really wholesome show. And yeah, I really liked it. And the recommendation that she made, which was Hey Arnold, was also awesome, because I took that recommendation and tried to watch it. So thanks for that, and keep doing the great work.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you so much. I'm so dude. I personally also really enjoyed that episode. It was so wholesome. I didn't want to edit out anything. It was all so nice. Okay, so since everybody has mentioned what their favorite thing about IVM Likes is, let's see what our favorite episodes have been. Ajana?
Favorite episode? That's a hard one, actually.
Maybe the one where you got to talk the most.
I wouldn't say talk the most, but I remember the one I had most fun on was with Abbas and May, and we were discussing our list of artists we'd like to see in India.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Music artists we'd love to see in India.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I think that was the most fun I had on an IVM Likes. And
You know what? Even in that episode, we mentioned a couple of artists, and then Sharanya tweeted back saying, "Hey, 3 of these have already been in India, guys."
Oh my God.
we got Sharanya.
Yeah, again by her.
What about you, Abbas?
I remember one of the very early episodes that we did. So we used to try and come up with ideas, right? So we came up with this concept of IVM fights, where one person takes one position and another one takes another. So we did this between me and Naveen, and Sharanya was the referee. And the topic was, Naveen was saying that superhero films are getting too repetitive and tiresome, and I was like, no, they're still nice and fresh. And we had a little argument. It was fun. So yeah, and Sharanya, I don't think there was a winner declared at the end. I think Sharanya was like, both of you made your points very aggressively. So that was fun. There was also one that Josh and Naveen did about Lord of the Rings.
Any episode from the recent times, Abbas?
From the recent times, they're all the same. The recent. I'll tell you. No, I'll pick one. So off late, the Pokemon episode I enjoyed a lot because
I was not on it. I don't remember this episode.
Because I genuinely went in not knowing anything about Pokemon, and I came out
Knowing
wanting to
everything.
explore and watch stuff genuinely.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I really enjoyed that episode we did with Saurav where we spoke about Andhadhun.
Yeah.
Because
Again, I wasn't there.
because you hadn't seen Andhadhun. I remember.
But you made a difference in Abhishek Upmanyu's life,
Oh yeah,
Janam.
that's
No, but
something.
I remember all three of us were so excited about talking about this movie because we loved the movie.
Yeah.
We were like, this is the episode we have to talk about. And that episode, by the way, has a lot of spoilers. So unless you've seen the movie, don't go back to it.
But we mentioned that there are.
We
gonna be
mentioned that.
spoilers.
Oh, Andhadhun is on Netflix now.
I
which
was
is
just going to
great.
say that I'm planning to watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
Watch
you
it. We'll
should.
do another
Yeah.
episode of Talking Andhadhun only with Shana. But let's take a quick break, and after the break, we're going to be taking a quick look back into the year 2018, and
We will list out our favorite stuff.
see you on the other side.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on IVM Podcast. If you aren't following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you guys want to catch Cyrus's rant on Cyrus Says Live, you can definitely check out Instagram. We kind of publish that live every time we're doing it on Tuesday afternoons. Make sure you check in for that. On Cyrus this week, actually, we had a really great guest, Roshan Abbas. Roshan talks about a wonderful career spanning radio, TV, live events, entrepreneurship, and now he's an author too. It's full of funny stories, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. On Simplified, Chuck, Naren, and Shrikant simplify the central banks and RBI, how they work, and why they've been making the news off late. On the 99th episode of The Seen and the Unseen, Amit is joined by lawyer and policy analyst Ameya Naik. They talk about the rules and institutions that keep populist readers in check and how they are being meddled with. On Vartalab, Akash and Naveen have a fun and insightful chat with Nikhil Udappa and Himanshu Vaswani. They're the founders of 4x4 Experiences and have created Control-Alt-Delete, India's largest crowdsourced live music gathering. On the first 3 episodes of The Habit Coach, Ashlyn talks about dopamine, fidgeting, and melatonin. Episodes are out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Give it a listen to improve your habits. On Football Twaddle, the boys discuss Chelsea beating Manchester City, the Raheem Sterling incident, and the Aubameyang incident. On Geek Fruit, Dinkar and Jishnu get into the holiday spirit by discussing the best Christmas movies of all time and their favorite Christmas songs. And with that, on with your shows.
And welcome back on the 100th episode of IVM Likes. We all raised our bats into the air because we've all reached a century. And on this, the second half of this episode, we're going to be looking back at 2018 and we're going to be listing out some of our favorite and sometimes not so favorite things. So let's get into that, guys.
Before we get into it, I just want to say, like, this is the first time in my life that I've actually made a note of all the movies and TV shows I have seen. I sat over the weekend and like compiled a list of everything I've watched. And I thought I was putting in like a lot of effort and being super like organized about it.
Exactly.
And just when we get in the studio, Abbas told me he has a Pinterest board of everything is seen.
But
and
you want to know an easier method to do this? There's a website called Letterboxd.
Oh, what is that?
All right. And you can actually log and review and rate movies, everything that you've seen. So if you just
so
put
much
the
effort.
it's not effort. You just put the date you've seen, rate a movie, and it gets added to the movies you've seen that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But does it have all the movies, even the
Every
indie
movie,
ones?
every movie.
What if it's an indie movie?
Indie ka bhindi, everything it has.
but you know what? I feel like it'll be easier if something like probably like a Netflix or a Prime things we consume content on has a list of things
they
already
do.
watched.
It's just that they haven't revealed. Netflix knows everything that we see, which is how
but it should be like
visible to
Visible
us.
to us.
Or they should just collate like a PDF and send us to us every year. Like this is all the
is
stuff.
this what you see?
along with the
Shame.
along with the bill they send every month, they should send like this is everything you
But
watched.
doesn't Netflix have that history option?
No,
I don't
It
know,
doesn't?
but like it has an option that says add to my list.
That
but
is to
that's
watch.
to
To
watch.
watch.
Yeah.
But things you've already watched aren't there.
Okay, let's do a quick 2018 roundup. Each of us will pick our favorite in the following categories. The first one is best movie we've watched this year. Okay, I'm going to say it first. Can I
This
say it
has
first?
to be a movie that came out in 2018,
Yeah.
right? Okay, cool. Not a movie from 1997 that you saw. Okay, cool.
Okay, the first one is best movie we watched this year.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going first.
Okay.
Go for it.
Andhadhan. I really enjoy that movie,
my
guys.
God,
Did
I
you
need
see
to
other
watch
movies
this.
this year?
I have seen other movies, but that okay. No, I haven't seen a lot of other movies. Sure, but Andhadhan was actually a really good
It
movie.
was
I feel
really
like it
good,
doesn't.
yes.
It needs more appreciation than it's been getting. And I'm sorry you ruined my life with Tumbad. I can't get
Tumbad
over
was
Hey,
that.
that was one of the best movies
See?
I saw this
High
year,
five, Jana.
but it doesn't get into the
Best
top
one.
category.
Okay, what
yet.
is your best movie?
Oh my god, this is a tough one. I'm going through my list of some 40 movies I've seen this year, which is not even half of Abbas's list. Wait, I have watched, I would say The Shape of Water.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's, I saw this right in the
Spoken like
beginning of
someone
the
who
year.
hasn't watched Andhadhan yet. You need to watch it. It's so nice.
I will.
Okay, tonight.
Soon.
Abbas, what about you?
Okay, so the best film that I saw this year was a film called First Reformed.
Alright, Abbas. Coming up with the most Indiest movie of all time.
It is kind of. It's directed by Paul Schrader, who wrote some of the early Martin Scorsese films. And I'm trying to think what's the best Hindi film I've seen, because I haven't seen Badai Ho. I liked Andhadhun, but I don't know if I'll call it the best.
I think the best Hindi
film.
movie you saw was Tumbad.
Again, I won't say it was the
Again,
best
well,
one.
I won't say it was Hindi. Because it wasn't.
So Hindi film, I think I would agree with Andhadhun.
My name is
kind
Survi.
of goes there. English film was First Reformed, and sheer for the audience interaction spectacle was when I saw Infinity War.
Really?
Yeah, first day, first show, where the theater was cheering at the entrance of every superhero and gasping at their deaths.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, the worst and the most disappointing movie.
Do you have one? I have
do
one.
not. You tell me.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Really?
Yeah, I was very disappointed with that film.
Oh, man.
It was very by the numbers. It was very manipulative. Did not like it. Was
What
expecting
about
a
you,
lot.
Janan?
I saw this movie called The Predator. That was pretty forgettable.
Yeah?
I watched it and I walked out like I honestly now I don't even remember what it
Guys,
was about. It was pretty shit.
Are you serious?
Also in Hindi, I would say I saw this movie on Netflix called Rajma Chawal.
Oh, it was bad?
I didn't like it at all.
She's been
Are you
bad mouthing
serious?
that film for
I
some
don't
time.
see it, but the
Don't
trailer
watch
looks
it.
Really? Charles was so convinced. Don't watch it, please. But can I say, okay, I wouldn't say this is the worst, most disappointing movie, but I didn't feel nice.
Tumbad.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of horror movies, and you guys convinced me to go watch it.
Okay, so would you say it was a bad movie or an overrated
It
movie?
wasn't a bad movie or an overrated movie.
Okay.
It just didn't make me feel like how I would want to feel after
But it's not
entertaining
meant
myself.
to make you feel good.
Then why the hell did I go
'Cause it's a
watch that movie? I was so uncomfortable throughout.
Yeah,
Like,
so then it succeeded.
no.
That was the point of the film.
You know what I had to do? I went back home and I had to sit through like several episodes of Office just to like remove all those tumbadness. It was awful, guys. Okay, next up is funniest movie.
Funniest
funniest.
movie. You guys go first.
Janam?
Okay. Huh, good.
Oh man.
Okay, I have.
Okay, wait, I just want to say I don't watch funny, happy content. I'm more of the tumbad person.
Tumbad
There's a lot
variety.
of tumbadness in me. So I don't know. I think The Incredibles 2 or
That was funny, yeah.
Ocean's 8.
I did to see Ocean's 8.
Funniest movie I watched was Deadpool 2. It was quite
High
funny.
five. I have Deadpool 2 as well. And there's this really funny movie called Game Night. Check it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this
right.
guy, the Ozark guy is in it.
Oh.
What's his name? Anyway, I'm not getting it right now.
But Deadpool 2 mostly.
Deadpool 2 and Game Night. Yes, funniest films.
Okay, most overrated.
Jason Bateman.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just throwing a guess. Most overrated film.
Overrated. Okay.
Rajma Chawal? Is it that?
I didn't even hear about Rajma Chawal. I just saw it on Netflix and my sister
wasn't
wanted to
on
watch it. I
Mami?
was like,
It was, yeah.
It won
I think Sanju.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't see
Sanju.
Sanju. Have you seen
I
Sanju?
haven't seen it, but I
Neither
will
have I.
stand by this.
Yeah.
Because it's so overrated, I didn't even watch it. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I saw this
Meh.
film called First Man starring Ryan Gosling and I thought it was pretty overrated.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
There's Ryan Gosling in it.
There's
and
Ryan
still
Gosling in
didn't
it and
work.
it's made
Didn't
by
help.
made by the guy who made La La Land. So I was really expecting like an
yeah.
amazing film. It was good, but
Wait, that's the movie with the...
Neil Armstrong.
Neil
Armstrong's
Armstrong,
journey
yeah.
to the moon. It was good, but it didn't bring the feels. I felt so. Yeah, First
One
Man for me
second.
was pretty overrated. Underrated movie. Again, this was actually one of Netflix's most successful movies this year, but I thought it was To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Oh, that was
It was so nice.
That was
Yeah,
nice.
that's what. So I wasn't expecting much while watching
Yeah.
when I started watching it, but then it was really good.
It's
So I was
really
like, oh my,
good.
this is like a perfect underrated.
Another
film.
movie that was quite underrated was A Private Life that you recommended
Yeah.
on the show, and nobody else was talking about it. And I was so glad to discover that movie because it's such a nice watch.
But
It's a
To
great
All the
watch.
Boys I've loved before, a lot of people were talking
Yeah.
They
about
did, but
it.
maybe
It
because I
was-
wasn't expecting very much out of
Yeah.
it, and I
Okay.
actually ended up really liking it. So maybe
What about you,
that's why.
underrated movie?
I will say Bhavesh Joshi Superhero. That was a super
It's a good
underrated-
movie?
It's a
It's
great
apparently
movie.
it's a pretty good. I haven't
Who's
seen
in
it.
it? Who's in it?
It's got
but
Harshvardhan Kapoor.
Even the Geek Fruit
and-
guys have been raving about it for quite
Bhavesh
some time.
Mehta.
Bhavesh Joshi.
Bhavesh Joshi Superhero.
Oh wait, is it on any of the
It's on
streaming
Netflix.
It's
platforms?
on no, it's Netflix and also Hotstar. I think
That's really cool. I'm going to watch this movie tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, next
else did we
up in the
have?
category, we have most gripping TV show. Okay, I'm going to say it. Sacred Games. That's quite good.
I'll give that to you. Yes.
Yeah?
Not a bad choice. Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
You didn't like Sacred Game?
I haven't watched it,
Oh,
but
so then why are you surprised?
I've heard mixed reviews about it. A lot of people have told me it's not that
Oh, wait,
great.
I
it's
know
brilliant.
exactly who has told you this, and this person just can't see blood.
No, a lot of people have said this.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But yeah,
What's yours?
for me,
Sick Note.
Friends.
actually there's a lot of shows I've watched.
gripping TV show Friends.
I would say...
Please don't say Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No,
Okay.
The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes. So when I was writing this list down, I was like, this is Janam's recommendation.
Yeah, so I think from the horror category, I'll pick, The Haunting of Hill House was super. I would definitely
Watch it.
go back and watch it again. It's
You
that
are
good.
weird.
It's
Letting
a
you know.
brilliant show, guys. Just check it out.
Okay,
I've
Abbas.
put down Wild Wild Country.
Oh,
the
that was
Osho
this year?
documentary. Yeah.
Oh my
That-
God.
It feels like so long
Yeah.
ago, right? It was this year.
You know why it feels like so long ago? Because we binge watched it like one night.
One day. That was my criteria. Like that was the only show I've watched start to finish in one day.
I finished Sacred Games in one day.
Okay.
Okay, what about best album? Janam? Because since Janam only recommends albums.
Yeah, this year I really liked this album by. They just released it like it's been less than a month. The 1975 they released this album called A Brief Inquiry into Online
yes.
Relationships.
I've heard about this one. How is it?
It's pretty cool. Check it
You want
out.
to recommend a song? Because like a listeners.
Bunch of songs. I would say listen to the song called "Give Yourself a Try."
Oh man,
That's a
I'm
nice
already
Give the
into
song
this.
a try.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
asks you to
already-
give yourself a
Give
try.
the
What were you,
album.
Baz?
So Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park put out a solo album this year called Post Traumatic, which is about how he came to terms with Chester Bennington's suicide last year. It's actually a very good album.
It's a whole album with how
It's a whole album, but I think 11 or 12 songs. So the first half of the album is exclusively only about how he got his thoughts back on track after his death, and the rest of the album is about moving on with life and going on with it. So yeah, it was a very good musically. Also, it's brilliant. And lyrical content also, because I was also a big Linkin Park fan. So you can hear some of these songs might have been Linkin Park songs because they have some melodies which are reminiscent of that.
Nice.
So I would recommend Post Traumatic, my favorite album of the year.
Okay, my favorite album of the year is Sweetener by Ariana Grande.
Okay.
It was a really good album because I feel like she touched upon a lot of things. Like there's a song called God is a Woman, and that's an amazing song. Like it really...
This is the same album with the Pete Davidson
yeah,
song.
there's a song called Pete Davidson. We won't talk about it anymore. I am with you, Ariana, my best friend. Another song that I really like is called No Tears Left to Cry. Great song.
From the album
From the
itself?
album, yeah. And there's a song called Pete Davidson. We won't talk about it. But overall, throughout, I feel like Sweetener really changed the game for Ariana. Because, all the songs are really cool. And they just touch upon things that are so, like...
Other songs like Peppy and Happy
Yeah.
are so sad.
they're not
That's
sad.
Ariana Grande's thing. Like songs are peppy, but they talk about some pretty heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff. Like God is a Woman is about sexual liberation and like how you get what you want, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so check this album out, guys. Sweetener. And next up in the list is best song. Can I say it first? Can I say it?
Sure.
Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. Have you...
Janam,
is
you
looking
haven't
at
heard
me?
that song? Dude, I have heard that song and I don't even
Is
listen
it a
to pop
song?
music.
Are you making up
She
a song?
made me sit and watch that song like twice on YouTube.
Chana, you want
Did you
around
just say
with...
thank you next?
Yeah, it's a meme now. It's not
Okay.
even a song.
Abbas, we need to stab Janam. We need to kill her. What's wrong with you? Where
Please
are you?
tell me
It's
who
like
is-
the top meme of 2018.
Have you not seen any of these memes? Thank you. Next. I'm so freaking hateful of
Oh
my
man,
ex.
Janam. you lose your credibility card for IVM Likes.
Okay, so I'll just quickly update
Listen,
you.
not everybody
You know,
knows everything.
Yeah, that's true. Janam, I'm going to quickly update you. Basically, after she broke
Is
up
this
with Pete
Ariana
Davidson.
Grande? Of
Yeah.
course I don't listen to Ariana Grande.
Yeah, but I needed to but this song is everywhere.
This
I
song did
haven't
for me
come
what my
across
therapist could not. I moved on. I'm not kidding. It's called Thank You Next, and it's a song to all of her exes, and she drops all these names like, I thought I end up with Sean or with another guy or Ricky.
So
But
she's
now I
thanking
laugh.
them for getting out of her life, and
No,
she's
no,
like,
no.
next.
For teaching her
for
something.
teaching her something.
And
Okay.
moving on. Dude, NASA and Dictionary.com made memes about
I'm
this.
so good. Abbas knows the whole history. So she says, one taught me pain. One taught
that
me
one?
pain.
Oh,
Yeah, see, you've heard it.
When you
You've
said
seen the
thank
meme.
you next, I haven't seen
You've
that.
seen the meme.
I've seen the meme of one taught me pain, one taught me
Yeah,
whatever.
it comes from Thank You
Janam,
Next.
do you not Google memes about where this came from? No.
Jeez, come out of mute, man.
We need to take a break. I'm not done with this.
Family businesses get a bad rap. At one time, they were looked down on for getting rich, for being too ambitious. Today, they're still looked down on, but for not being ambitious enough. Not agile enough, not modern enough, too traditional in their mindset. The biggest brands and business houses in the country started out as humble family businesses. It's the way India has done business. Join Sonu Bhasin in conversation with stalwarts of Indian family businesses on the Inheritors podcast series by Bloomberg Quint. Discuss the highs and lows, the needs and pressure points of building a business legacy that spans generation.
One taught me love, one taught me patience, and one taught me pain. Jana,
That seems so amazing.
You're the one who taught us pain about not knowing the song. Damn it.
Damn.
Never mind, people.
So what's your favorite song?
Oh, right. Yeah, we never. Wait, you didn't say your
No,
favorite
I haven't.
song.
I'm
All
still
right.
thinking.
Okay, my favorite song actually, I have a bunch of them. It's really hard for me to pick one. But there's this one song that has really, it's called Slow Dancing in the Dark by Joji.
By Michael.
No, it's by Joji. It's Joji.
Oh, you mentioned this, yeah.
Yeah, I've recommended the song on a previous episode. But I would like to say this song has been on repeat, and I can just never get tired of the song. It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's lovely. Check it out.
You. What about you, Abbas?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with this song called Firepower by Judas Priest. Judas Priest released their 18th studio album this year.
Nice.
It's considered their return to form, and it's like classic Judas Priest. It's got amazing guitar riffs. It's
a metal
It's a
band?
metal song. Janam, you call yourself a metalhead?
I don't call myself a metalhead, and
But you've heard
I
the
don't
Judas
listen.
you've
No,
heard
I'm
Judas
with
Priest,
Jana.
I've heard
right?
of Judas.
I'm
Okay,
with
so
Jana.
Judas Priest are the pioneers of heavy metal. Like they're one of the first heavy metal bands.
I don't listen to heavy metal. Okay, guys, just to clarify, I'm not.
Okay, so listen to Firepower. Firepower is an amazing song. It's got great guitar riffs. Rob Halford, who's considered one of the best vocalists in metal, he's like in his 70s now, I think, and he's done like an amazing vocal performance. So yeah, overall, I love the album, but the song itself is like it encapsulates the spirit of the album in that one song.
You're such a video essayist,
Firepower.
Abbas. We have to move quickly.
As our listeners have
We've already taken 2
told
breaks.
about my geeky knowledge.
Okay, favorite podcast?
I would actually like my favorite podcast and the episode from the podcast are from the same thing. I will say this podcast called Conversations on EBC.
What?
It's pretty cool. I've discovered some pretty gripping, engrossing episodes on this show. So yeah, check it out. And on the IVM network, I would say Marbles Lost and Found, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
I think I really enjoyed that episode where they talk about pop culture and mental health. I think that was a really nice episode.
yeah, and even actually all the episodes for me, most of them have been so relatable, and everything they talk about is just
That's a very easily bingeable podcast.
Yeah.
I think if our listeners, if you want to check out, you should totally head to our website and check out Marbles Lost and Found.
Yeah.
My favorite podcast was John Hartman, for sure.
It's been done.
Shana,
Twice.
Dude, Shana recommended it
Third
to
time
me.
now.
No, but personally, Shana recommended it to me, and I was, and the way she recommends is so I'm
I
sold.
know, yeah. Did the podcast go out this year, or did you discover it this year?
I discovered it this year, so it's amazing. Another podcast that I discovered this year was Heavyweight. I am
Which
another.
I recommended.
You recommended.
Yeah.
You recommended it to
Yeah.
me. Yeah, it's another good podcast. What about you?
So my favorite podcast was one I recommended. It's called The Caliphate. It's a 12 episode mini series.
Oh, I also
it's on my
we
list,
also-
but I haven't gotten around to listening to it.
Remember we also did that thing with Homecoming?
Yeah.
Did you? Is this your
But
best?
I won't call
Okay.
Homecoming.
Not your best.
By the time it ended, I was really let down by it. So Caliphate is really great. I also recommended Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend a couple of weeks ago, and now that back then when I recommended only one had come out, now there are 4 episodes and it's getting better with every episode. So
I'm
I'm
gonna check
loving
that
that.
out, yeah.
Among the IVM family, I actually really like Woody Woodpecker. I think it's a very nice. I don't know if you can call it a fluffy, nice. It's a fluffy packaged as a fluffy podcast, but it actually gives you real
so
knowledge.
much information.
Yeah.
Dude, exactly. I've heard all this, because I'm the producer for that show, and I've heard all those episodes, and I've sounded so cool in front of my friends. I'm like, did you guys know that
You became Amit Verma for that group.
Yeah.
Did you go on a Tinder date and be like, did you know where
Tinder came from? If you did not, check this podcast out, and then I'll leave immediately.
And my favorite episode, so Radiolab did this live episode about a radio play of H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds in 1937. So when in 1937 the radio play was broadcast on radio, people actually thought aliens had attacked, and many of them committed suicide. But that was the root of what we now call the mockumentary, right? That was the first instance where the Orson Welles, who made the broadcast, he made it in such a way that it'll actually sound like a real radio broadcast. So they trace the growth of this genre of fictional fake things which sound real. So like The Office and Modern Family are shown to us like they're a documentary, right? We hear the characters talking to the camera.
Yeah,
So
even
the root of
American Vandal, if you've seen.
yeah. So the root of that comes from that radio show where he made it sound like the radio show was actually happening. Aliens were actually attacking. And people who'd never heard something like that before actually thought that these are aliens, or they thought the Russians are attacking America and people are mistaking it for. It's a wonderful episode, and it just makes it even more amazing that it was recorded live in front of an audience.
And this was recorded in which year, you said?
This year. It was Radio Labs. I think its episode was in October. It was telecast in October of this year. So check it out. Check out the Radio Lab October archive. You'll find it.
Cool. And my favorite episode, just to wrap up quickly, was again from Conversations. It's this episode called The Google Truth Serum. It features this guy called Seth Stephens, David Owitz, and he basically talks about what the world is Googling and what it says about them, and
that's interesting.
it is super interesting. And like, you know, I was literally like shook after the episode, and it it gives you so much insight into like people's insecurities and like how marriages are, like wives are Googling things like, is my husband gay, is my husband cheating on me, or like a lot of mental health things also, like people are Googling a lot of symptoms about things. And
That's nice. That's really nice. Guys, moving on to our next category is best and the most used apps.
Yeah, for me, this is like Instagram and Twitter. Nothing.
Don't be a plain Jane.
No, but like,
Really,
did you discover a new app this year?
Like, I discovered
Nah.
the breakup app, and it has changed my
I
life.
dabbled in OkCupid, Bumble, and
But Bumble is shit.
Yeah, it is.
so yeah, those were the only that just tells you about how.
But Janam, did you discover a new app this year?
I did. There's this app called Headspace, which I downloaded earlier this year.
Oh, I was so sure you were going to say Hugie app, the camera.
Oh yeah,
phone
the Fuji camera app. Yes, that too. And there's this photo editing app called Mix. Check that out. I edit some of my photos there. And also there's this menstrual cycle tracking app called Maya.
Okay,
That's also
that'll
pretty
come in
cool.
helpful for me. I shall check that out.
Yeah, and yeah,
Why is it called Maya?
because
I think another app that I
Women
came
who
in...
menstruate are called Maya.
No, it's maybe a acronym for something.
Okay.
But another app that I have recommended on the podcast before is called Blinky. It's for people who get really like, who are used to like doing something on their phones. So fidgety people. So like you can do, so it's basically an app that opens up like a social media website. You can swipe right, swipe left, like, double tap. You can do all those things that we're used to doing.
so it's a fidget spinner in a phone.
In a phone.
But
So
then what? How are you doing it on a site?
basically it has no context. Like there is no consequences of whatever you do in this
Okay.
app. You can swipe left, swipe right,
Okay.
comment. You can comment also if you're used to typing.
Okay.
But all the comments are nice. So you can type anything, but
Nice
the app
words.
will only have nice
come
things
out.
to say.
Okay.
So it's called Blinky. Check it out. And okay, moving on to the best mobile game app.
I didn't play any games. People played games with me, guys.
What were you, Janam? You were a gamer.
Yeah, not completely, but I found this game called
Does Tinder count?
Altos.
Because in a way, you are playing games with
This is the reason people end up playing games with you, Abbas, because you're treating Tinder like a game. I downloaded this game called Altos Odyssey. It's
Oh, I played this game. It's so nice
It
and
is
colorful and
amazing.
so soothing.
It is so
But what
soothing.
does it do?
So it's like an endless desert game.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
are this character who's like sliding through a desert, and
It
there are
is
like
so
coins
nice.
you have to pick up, and
Oh,
like
okay.
jackpots and
That
magnets.
game won so many awards because of how beautiful
Yeah.
it is. It's
Okay.
so
The whole
nice.
color palette of the game is so like visually appealing, and
What's it called again?
Altos Odyssey.
Altos Odyssey. Okay.
And the music is brilliant. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
did the music playing at
You
the
can-
back, it's
there's
super
super
soothing.
nice music playing.
I just want to say the game is really soothing, but at the same time, it's very anxiety inducing also, because if you like if you just topple over and die, it's
also because it's a game that it's a game that uses your phone, like it uses motion sensor. So like if you tilt your phone a little bit, so the person falls. But it's a good game regardless. I don't get competitive, so it's easy.
Yeah.
But
It's
death
great.
anxiety might happen. So,
Little bit.
Guys, our last category is the most played song.
Oh, I can
What?
check.
I already covered that.
I think I played, as much as I said I hated the Queen movie, I think I played Bohemian Rhapsody like on repeat again this year. Because that
What
song
about
was
you,
just...
Chana? Or should I go first?
You go first.
My most played song this year was by Rilo Kiley, A Better Son / Daughter. This was played after Nanette.
It says, Jeene mera dil lutya surgi. Stop
Also
lying.
true.
It's not Rilo Kiley.
And Bomb Diggy Diggy. No, but like...
Bomb Diggy Diggy, whatever they
Bomb
Yours
Diggy Diggy.
also?
No, it's the top song of 2018 on Savan.
Dude, it's a good song. It just...
Yeah?
That's a... Oh, Lamborghini.
What's the Cardi B song that got that salsa beat going?
I Like It.
I like it like that. That's also a good song.
That's a good song.
I don't know.
Chana,
So, I also heard it for the first time. Oh, this cheap pop song, and then just got stuck in
it's
my
so
head.
nice.
I know, yeah.
It's
It gets
easy
stuck
to
in your
work
head.
out too, yeah.
My most played song, I have two actually. One would be Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino.
That's a good song.
And All the Stars from the Black Panther.
Oh yeah, that song is also
yeah.
very...
Yeah.
That song somehow fits all moods. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sad, all the stars. I'm happy, all the stars.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
And that was it for all the categories. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for the 100th episode.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for listening to us. And we love you a lot. As much as you love us.
Yeah, and we'll be back with a fresher episode next Wednesday. You can talk to us. You can tell us how much...
How much you like the 100th episode now. Now
Yeah.
you told us how much you like the 99 episodes. Now tell us how much you love this episode.
Yeah, send us
And,
personally. Send us personal DMs on Instagram and Twitter. We will reply to those. We will read them out.
Also, if you guys think there's something interesting out there that should catch our attention that we haven't spoken about, let us know. If there's any TV show, movie, music, game that you think you loved, we'd love to get the recommendation from you guys as well.
Yeah. Also, I want to say you can actually send us voice notes on Instagram.
It's a thing?
It
Yeah,
is a
it's
thing. You can
now.
DM us
YouTube has
voice.
stories and Instagram has voice notes.
Guys, when did this happen?
It happened.
While you were away.
Man.
So, yeah, just DM us your voice notes. We'll actually play it on probably every episode. Every time you send it to us, we'll
Yeah.
play it. And
We could
any
start doing that.
Yeah, any message you have for us or you want to
But
just...
nice, good messages.
Or if you
guys.
have
Don't
any
send
missile
hate mail.
codes you want the world to know, send it to us. We'll play it on the podcast.
Yeah. Just DM us. We're at IVM Podcasts on Instagram.
Yeah, and we do a bunch of cool shit on our Instagram, by the way.
Yeah.
So check our Instagram out. And Twitter, you can reach out to us personally. I am at Small Talk Police on Twitter. Abbas.
I'm at Abbas Momin on Twitter.
I'm at Janam Diwan on Twitter.
This is it for the 100th episode. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. We have a brand new daily podcast we're working on with Bloomberg Quint. All you need to know provides the top news on business, markets, and the economy so that you can stay ahead of the curve. Tune in every morning on BloombergQuint.com, the IVM podcast app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Don Bradman, and now Cyrus Brocha. Okay, probably not in the right company. I mean, Don Bradman is Australian. But it's called Cyrus Says, a wonderful show about everything. Find the show on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts.